Can't do interviews without beer.
We were confident enough at that point in several of our, but a close friend of ours said, "Hey, why don't you look in Belfair?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, all that construction, was going on," and I started looking.
In this episode of Mason County Minute, we meet up with Bent Vine Brew out of Belfair, where we meet brothers Tim and Todd.
Going on. And I started looking at some of the buildings around here and making some calls, and I just happened to, a call came in, so I pulled down into this parking lot and just to take the call, and I saw a little sign in the corner of the window that said lease, and I started poking around the building and talking to the sheriff's department and the deputies and questioning them about who owned it and stuff, and made some calls, and we ended up in here through a little bit of time and effort. Just being from Wisconsin and Milwaukee being the beer capital, we grew up just north of there.
Our stepdad owned a kind of a bar slash club, and so we got to work there, and we were always around, people having a good time. So.
Then Sundays after church, your folks would go down and it was bratwurst at the taverns, or it was another family event, or
Five Corners Tavern.
or something like that. They give you a handful of nickels and you're to be seen and not heard, and make sure you stay out of everybody's way. But there's family reunions, as our uncles would say, "Hey, go get us some beers," and there would be a keg there, and we'd sneak a little bit here and there, when we were kids, and it's not like you're getting ripped, but we just thought it would be,
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. So the whole thing, beer's always been in our culture. Whether it was a family event or football or anything like that, there was always those original beers, and there's a lot of beers that are from the Midwest. There are 3 different breweries that we've had where they'll have our beer on their guest tap, and then we'll have their beer on, their beer will be on our guest tap.
The guest taps are.
We've even been fortunate enough, one of the breweries up north, Hales out of Bremerton, they're also in Seattle. They had a first issue of their #1 Juicy, and they brought the cards, and we were able to put it on tap prior to its debut. It's just a great community with the brewers, so we've been really fortunate. Bainbridge Island, Cache, and Hales. It's
And now all the local pubs, there's probably only 1 or 2 places in town that sell beer on tap that don't have our beer on tap, so.
Good people in this community, and it's really starting to take off. So we just really didn't know which beers to brew that were going to be so successful, because every time we came out with another beer, it was successful. So trying to pinpoint seasonal beers and stuff.
Kind of treat this building like my shop. It's like we have everybody that comes here is our friend, and we all get together. We enjoy drinking beer together, talking, sharing information. A lot of the people that come here either brew beer professionally, some of them, at other breweries, and then others that come here are really avid home brewers as well, and are part of some of the larger homebrew clubs in the area. And so it's a matter of all these local people coming together, and we're always sharing ideas, whether it's beer recipes or even talking about tap handles, coming up with ideas for that, and some of the local guys coming in and actually making stuff for us, and
Cribbage board.
Cribbage boards, one of the sign companies, they went out of their way to carve a big piece of burl that Todd had into a table and a cribbage board, which is really awesome. Yeah. So any of the fundraisers, pretty much standard. We'll give support to the charity or whoever's doing the fundraiser. We'll also donate a portion of our sales during that event. So typically it's like a glass of beer, which can add up, if they have some thirsty people.
Oops.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do Mason, South Kitsap, and maybe a little bit of Pierce that's on this side of the bridge right now, and try to develop a real solid distribution in that area where we can have a regular route of deliveries and picking up kegs, and then we'll just see from there.